Would I be the asshole? We love a hypothetical here. We love a hypothetical asshole here. Would I be the asshole if I had my best friend in the delivery room instead of my baby's father? I, 24 female, am pregnant with my first child, and I broke up with the baby's father, 27 male, a few months ago for various reasons I won't get into here. As much as I know he wants to witness the birth, I really don't want my ex to be in there with me because he was not supportive at all during my pregnancy when we were together. Also, it's important to note that when we were together, I told him that when I give birth, I do not want him to look down there, and he kept insisting, saying that he has the right to see his child being born. I told him I do not want him to see my vagina literally split open, and please do not cross that boundary, but he always just said he's going to do it anyway. And it especially weirds me out now that he's my ex. Okay? I want my best friend in the delivery room with me because we've been friends since we were toddlers, and I trust her more than anything. She has a baby of her own, so she knows how terrified I am to give birth. She's been so supportive every step of the way, and honestly, I'd be a mess without her. I'm only allowed one other person in the room with me, but even if I could have more, I don't think I'd want him there. I don't know how to bring this up to him without completely blowing up at him blowing up at me. He already spent the first half of my pregnancy picking fights and yelling. I really don't think I could handle anymore. ETA? 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 Edit? I'm gonna guess that was supposed to be edit. Edit. Our dynamic has gotten better since the breakup. We're both working. What? Edit to add. That's not what it means. It already means something. You can't just make up something else that it means. That's too confusing. I won't accept it. Estimated time of arrival. Our dynamic has gotten better since the breakup. We're both working hard to be a great team of co-parents, and I truly believe he's going to be a great father. We just weren't meant to be in a relationship, clearly. Maybe I'm naive, but I do think he's a good guy, and just doesn't know how to regulate his emotions in a relationship setting. I want him to be as involved as he would be, so I don't want to block him or anything like that. We're trying to maintain a healthy friendship for our child. I just don't want him to be there with me for the most vulnerable moment I'll ever experience, because he hasn't shown much empathy in the past when it came to pregnancy and childbirth related discussions. And he has stated multiple times that he will not respect the only boundary I've set for my childbirth just thus far, looking at my lady bits when the baby comes. Once the baby is born, if he chooses to be there and supports us, he's welcome to do so, and I do want him to be one of the first to hold her. I'm just very hesitant about him being in the room when I give birth, and even during the labor process. Okay. I definitely don't think you're the asshole. Childbirth, like, inherently is, like, not only super dangerous, but also, like, obviously extremely painful and extremely stressful. And the fact of the matter is, the doctors are going to kick him out. Doctors are going to kick him out. They're going to notice that he's, like, stressing you out and he's making it harder. And then he's going to try to look at your vagina mid-birth. And you're going to go, hey, don't do that. And he's going to go, shut up, woman. I deserve to see this. And the doctors are going to go, nah, we're shutting that down right now. You get out. So the doctors obviously know how stressful and dangerous it is. They're not going to let that shit go. And then you're left in there alone. I do understand why I do understand why he wants to be, and in a way does have a right. He has a right to want to be in the room. I understand that. But what matters the most in that situation is your comfort and your safety. Your comfort, your safety, and the safety and comfort of the baby being delivered. So if your options are between the man who's trying to peek at your bits while you're giving birth and your best friend who has been nothing but supportive to you, obvious choice. Obvious choice. honestly, with that said, I think my rating would be a no assholes here until we get to this bit, right? Dude, what? What are you talking about? Hey, if you're gonna be in the room with me, I just don't. I want you up here, not down there. I want you on this side of the fucking field. And he's like, no, I want to see it. I want to see everything. And like, I don't even want to vilify that, right? I'll do the funny voice. I don't even want to vilify that because I understand fathers wanting to see their child being born. But you don't get to make that decision. You don't get to go, well, whether you like it or not, I got my binoculars on, I'm going downtown. Absolutely not. You don't get to make that call, my guy. Let's see what the comments say. Not the asshole. Block him until the baby is born and just let him know the baby has arrived. That's rough. That's rough and, like... See, this is the thing with Reddit. Reddit always goes to first choice, push the button, nukes launched, right? And I understand the tendency. And maybe it's also because I already read the additional information. But, like... Reddit will just immediately be like, no, blow up all your relationships. I assume you're not going to do a co-parenting thing with him because that makes him more evil in my mind. So just annihilate this man. Like, no, I don't think that's right. I think being like, hey, you're not going to be in the room when I give birth is a fair boundary. I don't think you should just be like, I'm never going to talk to you again. I'll let you know when the baby graduates college. Not the asshole. You can literally tell staff you do not want him in the room and they won't let him in. This is a very raw moment that you will be vulnerable in. It's your decision who's there. 100%. 100%. Not the asshole. It's a medical event. Your prerogative is to choose whatever support person that you prefer. Good for you, Reddit. Good for you, Reddit commenters. You're getting it. Not the asshole. I completely agree with you not wanting him in the room, but as a fellow father, extend an olive branch and say that you will let him know when you go to the hospital, and he could be outside the room. He could be the first person to meet the baby and hold him without your friend in the room. I think that's fair. I think that's fine, especially if you have a good relationship outside of your previous romantic one. I think especially if you want to keep a really solid co-parenting foundation. I think that's absolutely a good idea. You're ultimately in control of the situation either way, but showing you want to work together from the beginning will start this new co-parenting relationship of yours off on the right foot. Yeah. 100%. Not the asshole. You're the patient. Get to decide who's in the room. Just tell the nurses he isn't allowed and give them a picture. I can't help but imagine one of the fucking... like a fucking wanted poster you hand a nurse and be like, you see this man, you tell me, and you don't let him anywhere near my child. Like, you could just tell him, you could just also tell the nurses, like, hey, this is my best friend, she's allowed in the room with me, no one else is. Or, because as OP stated, there's only a one-person policy, you're gonna go, hey, this is my best friend, she's the one. It's just so unnecessary. Like, carrying around a picture of the baby's father. Just so you could be, this guy, don't let him in. Unnecessary. Your body, your choice. You're not together. You're not comfortable having in the... Yeah, okay. So everyone seems to be on the same page as this. Let's see if we can scroll down and find any detraction. Any detractors in chat? Looks like no. Wow. I'm proud of Reddit today. At least on this post. All right. We're going to do this one. This is going to be our last one. Oh, I guess I didn't. Obviously not the asshole on that last post. Let's just wrap it up right, huh? Whoa! Yo, we caught it by a hair! They took it down. It was too powerful. What? Why? Oh, no reproductive anatomy posts. We do not allow posts where one of the central conflicts pertain to reproductive anatomy, including but not limited to topics involving reproductive decisions, delivery. Wait, really? Since when? I feel like this is definitely not the first post I've seen like this. Whatever. Well, sorry your post got taken down. If it's any consolation, you would not be the asshole. 100% would not be the asshole. Am I the asshole for not letting my dad borrow money for his stepdaughter? My parents are divorced. My dad screwed our family over in the divorce. He got into a lot of debt and left my mom to deal with some of the fallout, knowing she was a stay-at-home mom with no income of her own. He was somewhat controlling where that was concerned, and he didn't want the mother of his children working outside the home. Both households struggled for years because of his actions. I, the oldest, 17 male, had the burden of being made aware of this, which is something my mom yelled at Dad for, because he encouraged me to get a job when I was 10 to help out financially. Mom was so angry at him. While in debt and not even formally divorced from my mom, Dad met his current wife and moved her and her 3 kids into the house he was renting. They got married days after the divorce finalized and wasted money my dad did not have. When I was 15, I asked Mom if she would feel comfortable with asking for full custody of me. She said of course, and she refused to let me help with money. I had a small part-time job at the time. Mom got full custody of me, but my sister still had to do the 50-50 thing. I stopped almost all communication with Dad, but I can't cut him off until I turn 18. My dad struggles with money, and there were times, so Mom didn't try to make up for him. My dad still struggles with money, and there were times, so Mom didn't try to make it up for him. I don't, that just doesn't parse in my brain. My dad still struggles with money, and there were times. Okay. The. Oh, okay. Weird comma. That's why. My dad still struggles with money, and there were times that I bought my sister stuff for Christmas or their birthdays that would make up for him instead. But they got them at home with me and Mom. Dad became aware of this, and last week he asked me to let him borrow some money for his stepdaughter's birthday, which was 2 days ago. I told him no. He texted me about 40 times asking for the money and saying he would pay me back March 15th. I said no again and ignored the rest of his texts that came through. The day of his stepdaughter's birthday, he called and texted me a bunch and told me how upset she was to get no gifts and how shitty I should feel when I have made sure my sisters never feel the same and wouldn't do the same for his step-sibling. His wife also texted me saying that I should be more compassionate. Am I the asshole? Yo! No! Just no. Like, you don't have a relationship with your you barely have a relationship with your father. You certainly, obviously, don't have a relationship with your step-siblings. Look, Also, big man. The man in the house makes money. The man in the house pays all the bills. I don't want a woman working outside the home. No. I do the work. Hey, son. Hey, 17-year-old son, can I borrow like $80? Can I borrow some money? Can I just borrow a little money? Just a little schmuckaroo? No, dude, fuck this guy. Fuck this guy so badly. I wish nothing for you but to turn 18 and never have to talk to this man again. God. At 10 years old, he's like, you should get a job so you can support your mother. Like a man would. Like a man of the family. Also, maybe baby, maybe me. Maybe me, maybe a couple dollars, maybe. That's fucking incredible. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. I didn't let my dad borrow money for his stepdaughter's birthday. I know how bad with money he is and how probably didn't have the money to get her anything. I still wouldn't let him borrow it so she could have a nice birthday when I've gone out of my way to make sure my sisters don't end up suffering because of his shitty choices. This may make me the asshole because she's a kid too, and she would have known me when she was really young, so maybe I should be more willing. No! You don't have the relation. From the post, it doesn't seem like you have the relationship you have with your sisters, with your step siblings. Like, absolutely not. It's not the same. It's not the same. And by his own logic, it's not the same. He's the man of their house. He make a the money. He pay for the gifts. That's how it goes. He should feel fucking embarrassed for crawling on his hands and knees to his high school aged son to go, money please. Absolutely absurd. Absolutely absurd. It doesn't work by common human logic. It makes no sense, and you're not the asshole. By his own fucked up, deranged logic, it makes no sense, and you're not the asshole. I think you're just not the asshole, my guy. Good news. Also. Right, like there's a huge difference in buying your sister's presents and being like, oh, this is from me and mom. Oh, birthday. And giving your dad money so he can buy his stepdaughter a present and tell her it's from him. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Not the asshole. He encouraged me to get a job when I was 10 to help out financially. Mom was so angry at him. What? His track record of a-hole behavior is impressive even by this substandards. You're 17 now and he still hasn't learned it's not okay to ask you for money. His wife also texted me saying that I should be more compassionate. Honestly, she's a good match for him in a-hole terms. Birds of a feather. I'm telling you, birds of a feather. Absolutely. The entitlement, the begging for money, absolutely birds of a feather. Good luck for the future, including permanently freeing yourself from this deadbeat. 100%. Get away from this man. This is an insane example of a child being parentified. I'm so sorry OP is going through this. There's absolutely nothing to feel bad about. In fact, OP should text back how sad and selfish it is that dad and stepmother don't care enough about their children to plan and save for them. And aren't they embarrassed to be coming to his child for help? There's nothing wrong with OP's behavior and everything wrong with theirs, not the asshole. 100%. 100%. And it's not even like... Usually when we talk about a child being parentified, we're talking about like a child that has to take care of their own siblings, which he also is being tasked with, in a way. In a way that's not directly, it doesn't sound like it's directly his mother's fault, but it's still a burden he's taking on. It's so much worse and so much more insidious when the parentification is a child being forced to take care of their parents. Like, it's absurd. And not because, like, of any reason other than that they're bad at money. No, absurd. Print out the text, frame them, and wrap them up nicely and send them to your step siblings as a reminder that their parents were not able to start saving money for an event that comes up every year at the same time. How much is he going to pay you back if he can't even plan such a thing? Or maybe please don't deliberately hurt children in order to punish their parents. I think that's fair. I think the stepkids are very aware that their parents couldn't buy them gifts even without the text. It's a bit hard to miss. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's 100% fair. But also, like, when you live with people, especially your parents who have these abusive tendencies, they a lot of times get to frame your reality. This is one of the most insidious things about parental abuse, right? Is that they have full control of the world around you at that point. So he could do this ridiculous thing where he prints out the text, goes to the Kinko's and gets a nice poster or a photo and gets it framed and gives it to his stepsisters to own his dad or whatever. That's easily reframable to, hey, see, not only does your stepbrother love the torment he inflicts upon you, but also he's the reason your birthday sucked. It's a weird suggestion, commenter. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce your Reddit name, but that's a weird thing. No, that's too much. It's just too much. How can you even think you're close to being an ass? Well, because he's a 17-year-old in an abuse situation with his own dad. That's what it is. The man has to borrow money from the 17-year-old child to purchase gifts for kids that are not relatives. Step siblings are relatives. Like, they are. You could not have a relationship with your step siblings, and that's fine if that's not what you want. That's okay. They still are relatives. Like, you shouldn't just be like, I'm sorry that this man is in your life. The 50-50 contact with your sisters. Hope they decide to live with your mother when they're old enough. Yeah, and they probably will. Sounds like he needs to get a second job then, not your problem. Okay, were we pretty much all in agreement with this? Yeah. Let's see if we can find any detraction. That's just the whole post again. No. Everyone's in agreement on this. I'm in agreement on this. You're not the asshole, kid. I hope life gets better. Case dismissed.